All right, so we'll call this meeting of the Kyle Housing Authority to order. It is 5:32 p.m. on February 15th. And Steve, do you mind taking roll?
Daniel.
Present.
Michelle.
Present.
David.
Here.
Brad. Absent.
And Brad just wasn't feeling well.
Okay.
All right, well, we have a quorum. Next on the agenda is the citizen comment period. And we'll open citizen comment, and I'm unaware that anybody has registered to speak or is present. And it is 5:33 p.m. when we open it. And we will close at 5:33 p.m. as well. And then next on the agenda, we have approval of the minutes from the September 30th meeting as well as the December 15th meeting.
Unfortunately, I forgot to attach the September 30th minutes to this, although I did send them to you.
Yes.
But I didn't attach them to the package I just sent you.
Okay, so we won't consider the minutes from the 5th. Will we?
If we have it, I mean, it was posted and it was included in the package, wasn't it, online?
There was a draft.
Okay, but they were, both of them were online, weren't they?
Yes, I sent them both to you. I apologize.
That's good. Now, I'm just making sure, was it part of the
I can't get it to pull up online, so
package?
I don't know.
Steve, was it part of the online posting?
It's included in the agenda, but does not appear the attachments made it
Okay,
on my version.
okay. So maybe not an official approval, but we can just review to see if there was anything and we'll bring it back. Yeah. So December 15th, I do see.
You do see those online or on.
But we're just missing the September 30th, so we can put that back on.
I'll just put it on the next set. Both of them. You can't approve the later one before you approve the
Right.
earlier one. So,
Okay, well, we'll just put it on for our next meeting.
all right.
Well, 3 of them to do then.
I'll make sure to include all of them in my package when I bring it.
Well, since we have no action on that item, next is executive session. It is 5:35 p.m. and we will recess into executive session pursuant to Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, and no action will be taken. All right.
Right.
So 6:04 p.m. and we'll reconvene into open session. No actions were taken during executive session for the record. Next on the agenda is the staff report, and I'll turn it over to Steve to lay it out.
Okay, we finally, when I last met with you, I told you I still didn't have the bank accounts open. Well, we finally got those open on December 23rd. And so that's been, taken care of. I actually transferred money from all of those accounts into all of the old accounts into the accounts that I have. I did not clear them yet. I'll clear them at the end of either February or March and close them at that time. I already told you about ELOCs and, the drama that I'm having with that. I told you about the REAC inspection and what's going on with that, and the DEC and the phone call schedule. I'm still preparing some stuff to send to the USDA. I hope to get it out tomorrow. Let's see, I told you about the accounting already. With the MOR that was done in 2019 by Southwest Housing that y'all got a unsatisfactory on, and it was like a 47-page write-up of all these findings and problems and whatnot. I've got all that done with the exception of some stuff that we have to wait that goes through the electronic HUD system for money and the 5 nines. And that should all occur. It's only on one apartment, 119. That should all occur possibly in February or in March. It just depends on the date that we got that in, if it was timely enough to show up in February.
That's great.
And I've already talked with the lady at Southwest Housing, and her name's Danzy Lewis, and she's the one we've worked with all through this. And we have cleared everything else with them except for this one item. They released this month the $977 that they've been holding because EIV was not being used. And so I got that all set up and proved to her that we're doing all that. So she released that money with the February voucher, and they quit deducting it. They were deducting about $307 a month for the last 2 years.
Wow.
And so
Yes.
and we've been focusing on that as opposed to focusing on the physical things other than fixing what people call us about, for the simple reason that Pete Dresden had $5,900 in the bank. You know, and I that's why I'm owed how many over thousands of dollars, because there was no way to pay me. Now that I've moved money into the new accounts, Charles Young has about $90,000 in it. So I can pay myself everything out of that for Charles Young, but I can't pay Pete Dresden.
Right, I was just about to ask.
And that was one of the agreements I made with the people at Public Housing, that I would not use Peter's money to pay Paul.
Right.
And they agreed that if I did that, that they would not come back and say, Paul owes Peter this much from all these past
Okay. Start from that point.
discrepancies. Yeah, so it was a good deal, I thought, for both sides. So, but I'm owed about, you know, Pete Dresden, I'm owed about $25,000 plus $8,800 in management fees. So that's $34,000 that I fronted on you know, the entity's behalf. So I'd like to get that back sooner than later. And then once we get the MOR thing finalized, like I was saying, she'll send me a closing letter, which I'll share a copy with you, and that'll put the property back in some good standing. With respect to MORs, it'll put it back into good standing. We did sign an agreement to do the audit with Bill Rocha, who's the guy that's been doing it forever. He has to have that done by the end of March, so we signed that and sent it to him in January.
Okay.
Actually, Daniel signed it, and then I signed it. It had to be signed by both parties. I mentioned the budget's ready, and let's see. The RCS, do y'all know what an RCS is? You know, you hire somebody and they do an analysis of all the apartments
Oh, the rent comparability.
and create a rent comparability study. And then I send that to Southwest Housing in August. this coming August so that we can get a big rent increase effective December 1st.
Okay, yeah, because we don't even know when the last time was that we had,
Say it again?
we don't know really when the last time was that there might have been any change to the rents, if ever.
There's no telling if one ever was done,
Okay,
okay?
I think that's what we were given, that
In
seemed as
talking
if
to,
nothing had happened.
in talking to Tammy Fortinos at Southwest Housing, and she runs that whole section over there. She said they don't have any record of any. Now, they've only been doing them since 2000.
No, that's 22
So
years.
the property was 21 years old at that point, so. There may have been some done before that, but nobody knows.
Okay.
You know, I'm glad that we're making some progress, but it's slow, it's very slow. And that, I've really kind of given you a, you know, an overview of where we are with everything. I have focused on trying to figure out what all the expenses, not the expenses, but the capital items are that we need, and make sure that we include every possible thing in that so that it, because I know, especially if you guys, you know, if you talk to the city and they're giving you some money, that's only going to happen once.
Right.
So it's got to be a,
We need to make sure that we have the right things delineated. This is what we need so that we really can be sustainable, really move us forward, which would be helpful. Yeah.
well, and the thing about it is the alternative is if they don't, then foreclosure's the likely thing that'll happen.
Right, we're really trying not to have that.
So, and you know, and you don't want that, the housing authority don't want that. One of the things that was suggested to me was to, you know, by paying off the note, we'd get out from under the thumb of the USDA also.
Mhm.
And because, and they have a lot of control, and, you know, I have yet to figure out why they do, but it's because of that note, obviously. But that note's 9%. There's 1% that is, I can't think of the word I want to say now, but you know, that's a high interest rate.
Yeah, compared to what's out there.
That was a bargain 30 years ago.
Well, yeah.
Correct.
And
Definitely not now.
you know, one of the things that both Erlob and the people at Southwest Housing said to me was that you could refinance that note and maybe, you know, include a couple of $100,000 into it in order to do all the rehab work you need. That's an option, but that would in itself take USDA out and pay that note out. You know, you get a loan today at 2.68 interest.
Right.
But the problem with that is that, and I've seen these kind of, you know, refis done, and they take anywhere from 10 to 14 months. And we don't have 10 to 14 months.
No.
Well, and I mean, the processing fees to do them on a number that low is still gonna be significant.
That's true. And finding somebody to do it for that small of an amount,
Mhm.
because, you know,
Right.
a mortgage broker doesn't want to take his time to do something for a $500,000 loan, you know, or 600,000, whatever the number might be.
And you have to be in a good financial situation moving forward.
And then-
The market may not be any better today for us than that
It may
unless
not be.
somebody wants to underwrite it.
That's true.
So.
So those are, you know, that's my report in a nutshell. I mean, I could probably sit here and tell you about all the little things here and there, but you don't want to hear all that. It's just been day to day.
Okay. And is it mostly you and Letitia and Maintenance man,
Excuse me.
Orlando.
Once I let Frank go, it'll be the three of us. And of course, the two of them, they get paid, hourly, and they both work 40-hour weeks.
Okay.
And then, my management fee is, that includes,
Reasonable.
me.
Yes.
It's reasonable.
Sure,
It's
yes.
absolutely, now that I know more about it, it's way too damn low. But
We're glad we lucked
That's
you
why
in.
you were gonna say.
Sorry, man. It's like that note it's like the interest rate on that note.
But it's, and I've got Orlando working because he lives in San Antonio. So, and the only reason I had him working is I can't find anybody that wants to work, not just here.
Right,
Isn't that
just in
amazing?
general. Yeah.
It's harder than heck. I've got another opening in San Antonio that I've had for 3 months. Nobody wants to. The only guys that do can't pass the drug test.
No.
So, it's one of those things.
That's all we need.
Happens to the best of us.
Exactly. So I have Orlando working 4-day weeks, 10 hours a day, so that he doesn't have to drive back and forth, because I'm paying him, the property's paying him mileage also.
Right.
So, that's a significant amount every day.
Okay.
And, but, we're moving forward and we need to make this thing happen with the city. I can do some wordsmithing on my analysis here once I get all the
Make sure it's right.
firm numbers in. And I should have those maybe as early as Monday.
Okay.
So,
Well, if there's anything with that, and I can be helpful with just reviewing it or any of that. I'm happy
okay.
to do
Are you a good wordsmith? Okay, I'll remember that.
I don't know. She's pretty good.
But that's all I have for y'all, unless you have any questions for me.
No,
I don't. So I thought it was a good report.
thank you for giving us all that update, and I know
Yeah,
it's
that's
been
a lot
I
of
know it's been a
information.
lot. We thank you.
It
I
is.
know you're getting paid, but also I recognize it's probably just you digging in and recognizing what is needed. That has been.
It's been a real challenge. I like challenges, so.
Oh, we're glad. We're glad.
Well, thank you for stepping up to do this.
No
Yes,
problem.
thank you.
Yeah, in fact, I talked to Brad Pratt not too long ago. You want to know how it's going?
Oh,
Because he's the one that referred me to
Right.
you.
I'm sure you were very grateful to him.
And he said, his only comment to me was, I knew it was going to be a mess. And he just didn't see being able to do it because he had other things he was working on. that were
That's a
new.
lot.
And it's time consuming, so.
All right.
Do we have
So
anything else, Mr. Chairman?
I don't think so. It gets us to our last agenda item, which is adjournment. And do you need a motion to
There's
adjourn?
no further business.
Yeah. All right. Well, so it's 6:19 and we will adjourn.
Thank you, guys.
You know,
Thank you, Ruby.
Okay.